Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And as you can tell, I am here on top of Hypnotizd giant mushroom base because this is the best place to wear my Horsehead Farms hat. See? Look at that. It really kind of keeps my hair down, and it looks good. You know what, though? I don't just want to show off Horsehead Farms in the background there. I wanted to show off Cleo and my new castle. I wanted to give folks a chance to get a sense of where it is in space. So if we're directly atop Hypno's place, there's Horsehead Farms there. There is XB's back there. Now I've got an xBCrafted head. Look at this. So much decorative headwear today. But you know what? That's only fitting because we are about to start fitting deep slate tiles onto our roof over here. Now, the real Castle Hohenzollern has like a slate blue roof. These are not maybe the bluest deep slate tiles in the world, but I think that they're going to do pretty well. So why don't we go start dropping some in. As we work on adding some tiles to that roof here, I'm expecting Cleo to log in at some point and start punching holes for windows and doors. This castle's going to have several floors, but in terms of features, you know, maybe we want some more. So why don't we head back there now and get to work? Time skip. Well, folks, as you can see, I have started putting in the roof here based on the angles that I thought I needed from the model. But I'm running into a few real problems. Like the heights between like the tops of these roofs and the ends of these walls aren't really reconciling with what I'm seeing in the model. Unfortunately, Cleo is really busy this weekend. So I'm going to have about 3 days of roof work before she's going to be checking in with me. So any decisions I make, I'm going to be kind of making in a little bit of a vacuum. Maybe I'll send her a screenshot here or there. But I kind of need to rip up and redo a lot of this on my own, which is a little bit scary because I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful for the effort she put in. But yeah, like I said, once you actually start working with this, you start really seeing where the mathematically accurate thing to do and the artistically, architecturally appealing thing to do don't always line up. So we're going to be slightly adjusting the heights of some things. We're going to be broadening walls, thinning walls, doing all that. Now, another thing to keep me busy this weekend while Cleo is busy is I was thinking beef. No, wait, that's Grian. Grian's thinking beef. And beef is thinking yes. I was thinking that maybe we should start actually building some of the little houses in kind of the outlying areas here. To kind of make the village feel more populated, but also because we are going to use those houses as enclosures for kind of semi-automatic flower farms. Our flower selling little business over there has been highly successful. We're making a lot of diamonds, but I don't want to spend all my time running around fields gathering flowers. It would be advantageous for me to automate that some. So I think that's going to be one of my big projects this weekend too, when I'm not messing with the castle. I know that much geometry, I'm going to need a break to go be maddened by some redstone instead. So, anyway, here we go. Time skip. My initial attempts to remove the roof over there have been thwarted by my lack of a floor to fall to as blocks are removed below me. So, I've got Cleo's little wheat farm there, churning away, growing more wheat with which to save my dainty little toes. In the meantime, though, I realized that the first flower farm we probably need to build is going to be an allium one. And there's a perfect plot right here where allium grows naturally. It's a good place to put a little hut because it'll be visible from like down by the portal there. It'll be visible from the castle. And, you know, it'll kind of just make the place feel more populated. Cleo will even be able to see it from her house. Yay! So, my first steps, I figure, are going to be to clear out the trees up here, and then to remove all the flowers that are currently on the ground. After that point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use bone meal to kind of figure out what the extent of the allium footprint is. Or like what the extent of the footprint where allium will grow here. Then make sure that the building fully kind of encompasses that. I feel like that is going to be kind of crucial because I don't want the building to be slightly too small and have allium growing outside of it that I'm not collecting with the water collectors. But I don't want to have the building be bigger than it has to be either, because part of the goal of this is to build a bunch of these little flower farms throughout, and I don't want to have this kind of just get out of hand, you know? If these are gigantic... Uh-oh. Dang it, I'm about to go in the ocean, I think. And luckily, the second throw was better. Total recall. Ender Pearl and myself back up here. Not to much avail, but to just enough avail. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead, kind of clean this up. Oh, wow, the allium stretches back here, too. I'm not going to make this building this gigantic long building, though. It's not... I think these are two separate kind of allium areas. Now, this little valley here, or valley, maybe is going to be its own problem. I might need to extend the dirt and level this a bit. I don't know. We'll play with it, figure out where the kind of corner posts need to go, get the redstone in, and then play with it some more. Time skip.
Happy Monday, Joe.
I have gone the entire weekend trying to figure out how to get this done in a way that would be visually pleasing, and then I gave up and decided to just farm a whole bunch of wheat, because I don't know if you realize this, but when you work on rooftops, you fall off them a lot. And so I realized I would rather not keep taking fall damage and dying obnoxiously while removing and replacing and upgrading all the roofs. So, floor.
Right. Okay. A floor. I see the floor. Okay. Right. What is the difficulty that you are having, Joe?
So, with this particular part, I'm realizing there's a few things where, like, in order to make the walls fit the grid when you were laying it out, things ended up, dang it, slightly asymmetrical. And in order to make it actually look like it's supposed to artistically, we might have to do things like pull this wall forward so it mirrors the one over here. You see what I'm saying?
You know what, Joe? If I say, if that's what you need to do, then you do that.
How would you feel? I appreciate that sentiment, and it seems like a very reasonable sentiment when we're talking about, like, this wall, or maybe this wall. But here's where we run into some slightly more complex issues. This wall. Okay, so... This wall. Yeah, if you come in here, I kind of figured out there's some problems with this roof. Kind of.
Right.
Basically, to get the angle that we want, to have it look like the model, these little, like, square steps, they need to be square, and there need to be 4 of them. But... for them to come out the right angle, we basically need those to be 3 meters down, 3 meters over each time. Does that make sense? Instead of 2 meters down, 2 meters over.
Okay, Joe, have you considered, like, changing the angles of the roof?
Well, here's the thing, is in order to change the angles of the roof, we need to bring these walls up significantly. Okay. So that's kind of what it comes down to. And so basically, we need to either move the walls up 8 and into, or over this way a little bit. Here, I'll show you. I've kind of marked out on the ground here how this might work if we had these as 3-meter step downs. Basically, for one thing, we kind of need the midpoint to be 3 wide anyway, so we can have the steeple on top of it.
Right, okay.
And so if the midpoint is this one, right, and we had the steeple here, then it steps down 3, steps down 3, steps down 3, which means the outer wall actually needs to be lined up with this, where we're at now. So move this. Yeah, so not this segment. This segment here is fine, but this
all
wall.
All
of this, including these 2 turrets that you just put in, need to come out. By that much.
Right.
Now, I am a little worried that that's going to make this feel cramped, though.
But it feels cramped anyway, is the issue.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this courtyard in real life is actually not that huge. It's not a large courtyard. So
it's quite narrow.
If feeling cramped isn't necessarily incorrect, if that makes any sense. Now, what that also requires, though, is not only do we need to pull out that wall on that side, but we need to pull the corresponding wall over here out as well, up to here, basically. Yeah, if that's the line. So we only have to pull
So you're
this.
dragging it out by one.
So this one has to come out by one, and that one has to come out by several. If we wanted to keep the courtyard bigger, we could actually pull this wall out by a few and kind of split the difference. And I think
Okay.
visually that might work better and save a little bit of rework on the towers.
Right.
But it then involves, but then the problem is that this thing here, this part of the chapel that sticks out, will be off center a little bit. So then we'd have to move
My
that too.
suggestion is bring that wall out there, out the 3, and this out by the 1, because you've done all of this work on this wall, and it's bigger than this wall.
Okay.
So that would be my, my guesstimate.
Okay, so just basically do what I described.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Okay. Also, while we're on this wall, I wanted to point out I've done some landscaping, just for you to appreciate.
Oh, the field.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful crop field.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Joe. Okay, so is that the only roof you have a problem with? Because that is not the roof that I thought you would have a problem with.
Well, that's the roof that has the most obvious problems visually and artistically, because of those the square-shaped steps down at the top. That's the one.
Okay, well,
that's the most blatantly problematic. Like the ones on the diagonal, for example, they're gonna look kind of weird no matter what. But
that's the one that I thought would be the big problem.
So what's weird about Minecraft is the stuff that looks like it should be easy in Minecraft, if you do it wrong, looks the most wrong. So having the wrong number of steps down that roof would be visually the most wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. Let's make it bigger.
Let's make it bigger.
It's not the thing that I suggested we do from the beginning at.
No, that's fine. Well, I said we should start with 1-to-1 and then see where it needs to be tweaked. And I realized the texturing.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that statement.
I said that's how I do it with the D&D stuff. You probably heard me say D&D and then zoned everything else out.
Yeah, that seems legit.
Also, did you see that I made little balloon kids like you'd made last season?
I did. I haven't put them in a video yet, but I was just sort of like, "What's going on?" Okay, this is a thing that we're doing. That's fine. They're very cute and well done.
Thank you.
I'm quite impressed, actually.
Yeah, that's where I terraformed the field. That was a hill, and then I realized there were a bunch of beehives that I didn't have the campfires to remove, so I just turned them into little balloons.
That's really quite cute, Joe. I'm quite impressed. Not gonna lie, it's really cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I know xBCrafted needs to talk to us too. Should we go hop in that voice group he's been yelling at us to join for the last 10 minutes?
Yes, we should probably do that.
Hey, howdy XB, howdy Hypno.
That's how you do
Hello.
it.
All right, so let's see.
It's the debt collectors come.
Are we clumping together or is this individual?
I mean, I figure we're all here, so.
I mean, it's relatively individual, but we can watch what each other has bought because it's all going on the same project effectively.
Okay. So hold on, let me tally Joe's. 11 diamond blocks.
Ooh, luckily I've bound this to the minus sign, so I'll just tap that 11 times.
So we need.
Boom.
That seems like 11.
Mm-hmm.
XB, you're not picking up.
I counted 11 clicks. That is what it was.
Oh, sorry.
So who did you get in the end?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. I gotta flip through the
The thing
pages
is,
here.
you're trusting them. You're trusting them to give you the right ones.
Well,
I
but okay,
see.
the thing is though, if an auctioneer is dishonest, they can they'll lose their license.
Are you guys licensed?
Wait, you're supposed to have a
Absolutely,
license?
absolutely. Of course we are.
I mean, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Can
definitely we are.
Totally.
Can I see it?
It's in my other pants, I think.
All right, here you go. So you've got Wells Knight, Evil Azuma, Iskal, and Jevin behind you, Joe.
Ooh.
That's a lot of IOUs.
Wow.
And
Hey,
then-
That is.
Iskall
Miss
paid with a
Cleo.
shard. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! And
Give me my stuffs.
just saying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impulse
Oh.
tipped us, right?
Yes.
Right.
Impulse was a very
then-
generous tipper, in fact.
And then Cub, just to one up Impulse, tipped
Yeah.
even better.
yeah, he did.
So
Oh,
we're
okay,
putting
well-
that
That's
out.
so nice of them.
Now we're
Right.
not telling you that you have to,
Right.
but we do accept tips.
Well, give me a second.
Right.
Let me get my wallet out here. And
You see, I'm British.
Uh-huh.
Tipping is not really in our culture.
Really? Is that
Really?
Is that
We-
the,
But
Here you
but
go.
Joe, it's in Joe's culture. Joe is tipping you. There you go.
we're
Okay.
yeah,
And
those will
those
help
here
with your
is
chakras.
Gem, Pearl, and Beef.
Gem, pearl, and beef. It's fine.
well,
What could
pleasure
possibly
doing
go
business
wrong?
with the both of you.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, neighbors. So, Cleo, here's what I'm thinking. The first one I'm going to spend, that IOU from Wells Night, can you see the flower farm I built on the horizon there?
Where did we go?
No.
It's hideous.
Where's home?
Home?
Here, follow
on.
me.
It's this way.
What is this?
This is what I'm going to use my first IOU on, is I think I'm going to have Wells Night make this pretty. But you go sit on the horse,
Why am I sitting on the horse?
because it'll drift around and pick up the items.
Is this
This is the flower farm.
your version of a?
Do you like it?
It's definitely a thing that you built.
I know, but once Wells Night comes in and cleans it up, it'll look like a thing that Wells built. And that will have value.
Yeah.
What I was
That will be valuable.
Yeah, what I was thinking is I would have him retrofit it to look like, a medieval building to kind of complement everything else here.
Yeah, because he's quite good at that.
Well, he is,
So-
right? But I wanted to make sure that you didn't have an
is, yeah.
alternate idea of what you needed Wells to spend his, or what we need to spend the Wells Night
Oh no
IOU
no no
on
no!
first.
I feel like I'm up. I feel like that if you need some, I hate this forest. Okay. No.
Or is it
Do
because
I
of the
have?
glass?
I do. I
Can-
have
can you-
ender pearls.
Can you not see the glass?
No, I can, but it's a case of
Mm-hmm.
being able to. Bye.
Bye, Cleo. Oh yeah, because of proximity check, she can't hear me. Okay, I'm back near proximate
hello.
to you again. Yay!
Yay. The way I figure it is, I've got like I've been thinking about things for like Gem and Pearl to do.
Mm-hmm.
Beef, I was going to do like just prettification,
Mm-hmm.
but I was going to ask Pearl to look over the build once we'd done the most of it and then make it prettier.
That makes
And
sense
then
to me.
Gem, trees.
Yeah. Trees make sense to me. One thing I was kind of thinking was like, you know how I set up that farm way out there? Maybe getting some potatoes and carrots and creating like small little fields kind of within view distance of the walls. So when you look out from the castle, it feels kind of like there's like a domain to some degree. You know what I mean? So maybe,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So like probably Evil Asuma would be a bad choice for this, but maybe we say to Jevin or Iskall, hey, build a little farmhouse with a potato patch or something. One of the bids I didn't expect to win was Evil Asuma's. And so I'm thinking maybe we hold on to that one for a little while. Maybe we keep that marker
Yes.
in reserve.
Well, he's still not paid me what he owes me. So if that's the case, I mean, we can always use that to tank his biggest business. I mean, if I wanted to.
Tank is such a strong word, and it frequently gets censored out by Chinese search engines. So maybe let's try and torpedo his business or something.
Liquidate.
Liquidate
Make
is
all
a
his
great...
funds liquid.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
great
I like
word.
liquidate. Yes. So we'll keep that one on hold.
Yeah, for when he annoys us. Us.
Yeah, I mean,
To be fair, if
honestly,
he annoys me, he annoys you as well.
exactly. I was gonna say I can't imagine a scenario where you're annoyed, but I'm not. But then I realized me annoying you is delightful and one of the highlights of my day. And so maybe there's other scenarios where you're annoyed that I would actually really find pleasant and delightful as well. You know, can we explore this later?
Can we not? Is that a thing that we can?
Yeah, just whatever you need.
Just go in.
Okay, bye, Cleo.
Bye, Joe. Bye.
Bye. 12 hours or so of working on these roofs. I have time-lapsed and compressed as proof for each and every one of you that, wow, you can do things if you spend 10 to 12 hours on them. But that doesn't mean anybody wants to watch 10 to 12 hours of it. So, in the interest of brevity, you can see that I have been working hard on all of these roofs, and bit by bit, this has come together. You know, I am now on top of the platform here, and behind me you can see I put in some of the windows, I've got some of the accents in, got some little towers as well, and I'm pretty happy with it all. From that platform up there to down below here, when I cross this bridge, I don't have to fear that this looks terrible anymore. I am thrilled with how the windows are coming together. We've got some alcoves up here. Having the model to refer to is really helping a lot. There are some funny things where it's like, oh no, this wall here is still missing because I haven't done that part of the model yet. And all of this with the driveway, that's still missing because we haven't done that part of the model. But, you know, it really is cool having something three-dimensional that I can refer to as I fall into the water. Don't drop your papercraft models in the water, folks. Glad I was just eating this delicious steak instead. Steak is entirely waterproof. In a lot of cultures, they will dip the steak in water before they eat it to tenderize the meat. Now, of course, there's going to be more windows. There's going to be more details. Cleo is going to jump in on some of that too. But I just wanted to show you roughly how this will look. This is the highest level of detail area is this part right here. Now, before we go, though, I need to return to my home, my little starter house, where I've prepared visual components for today's poem. You might have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free, and that is thanks to Patreon sponsor Winnie T. Ford. So in lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising, which was inspired by Mojang and their bug reporting system. So here we go. Poppies are red, elytra are gray. Strongholds don't generate in 21W 37A. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.